You ever wonder what it's like to be completely underestimated? Like everyone assumes you're weak, irrelevant, nothing special? Well, imagine sitting in a room full of alien superpowers for 50 straight years while they laugh at you behind your back. That's exactly what happened to humanity. And let me tell you, what they discovered next absolutely shattered everything they thought they knew. Picture this. There's this massive space station floating in the void, right? It's called the Grand Spiral, and it's where all the big players in the galaxy meet up. We're talking about over 200 different alien species, each one more impressive than the last. You've got the Vrax Imperium, these giant armored warriors who look like they were born for battle. Then there's the Celestial Choir, beings made of pure light and energy, and the Chromoth. Ancient wise creatures who've been around for thousands of years. And then there's us, humans, for 5 decades. We've been showing up to these meetings, sitting in the same spot every single time. The back row, the cheap seats, the place they stick the nobodies who don't really matter. Ambassador Elena Torres and her tiny team of 6 people, just sitting there quietly while the real powers discuss real problems. We never made a fuss, never demanded attention, never tried to prove ourselves. We just observed, took notes, and went about our business. Now, here's where it gets interesting. One day, this massive warlord named Thexor stands up. He's covered in battle scars, dripping with military medals, and he's got this voice that could shake mountains. And he points right at the human delegation and basically says, "Why are these losers even here?" Think about that for a second. 50 years of showing up, being professional, being respectful, and this guy just calls you out in front of everyone. He pulls up all our stats. Our military? 40 ships. That's it. Our army? 5 million soldiers out of 8 billion people. Our territory? 15 worlds that aren't particularly special. And compared to these galactic empires with thousands of warships and billions of soldiers, we look pathetic. The entire room starts laughing. These powerful species are literally mocking humanity to our faces. Someone calls us soft mammals. Another says we're so weak that nobody even bothers invading us because we have nothing worth taking. The laughter just keeps rolling through that chamber like a wave. And Elena, she just sits there, calm, collected, not a single emotion on her face. Her assistant Marcus is about to lose it. He wants to fight back, wants to defend humanity's contributions. But Elena puts a hand on his arm and whispers 2 words that would change everything. Not yet. So Thexor keeps going. He proposes a vote. Any species that can't prove their worth gets kicked out of the council. And he wants to start with us. He's so confident, so smug, giving humanity 3 days to prepare some kind of defense before they vote us off the galactic island. The meeting ends with more laughter, more mockery. Everyone's already decided. Humanity's done, finished, about to be humiliated and expelled. But here's the thing nobody noticed. While everyone was focused on how weak we looked, they never asked the right question. They never wondered why a species with such a tiny military has never been invaded. Not once. In 50 years, with 47 different neighbors, many of them aggressive and expansionist, nobody has ever tried to take a human world. Don't you find that strange? Because it is. It's incredibly strange. Over those 3 days before the vote, something weird starts happening. Ships that were sent to spy on human territory? They vanish, just gone. No wreckage, no distress signals, nothing. The crushed Dominion sends 12 spy drones toward Earth. All 12 disappear. They send a military frigate next. It vanishes too. This has been going on for decades, by the way. Over 200 ships have gone missing near human space over the past 50 years. Pirates, raiders, military scouts, they all just disappear into thin air. Most species blamed it on equipment failures or bad luck. But that's a lot of bad luck, right? Meanwhile, Elena and her team are acting like nothing's happening. They're not panicking, not scrambling to prepare some desperate defense. They're actually hanging out at cultural events, discussing Earth music with curious aliens, exercising, having meals like it's just another week at the office. This behavior catches the attention of a young Peltian observer named Kixtel, this fox-like alien who's been studying humans. Kixtel realizes something doesn't add up. Species facing expulsion don't act this calm. They don't act this confident. So Kixtel does something risky. They decide to spy on Ambassador Torres, which could end their career, but curiosity wins out. Late at night, Kixtel hides in a maintenance corridor near the human quarters. They watch Elena walk into an observation lounge overlooking space. And then Elena makes a call, a private encrypted call. When someone answers, Expel nearly faints. The voice that responds is so deep, so impossibly deep, it sounds like mountains shifting underwater. It's speaking perfect English, but no human could ever make a sound like that. And this voice is giving Elena a status report. 12 around the station. Another 40 nearby. Something about handling a crushed frigate without casualties. Something about pulling ships into fold space and releasing them far away, alive but confused. Kixtel's mind is racing. 12 what? 12 what are around the station right now? The voice calls Elena Ambassador and mentions someone called Grandfather Deep. Elena asks if they're ready for tomorrow's vote. The voice confirms they are. And then Elena says something that makes Kixtel's blood run cold. Tomorrow they'll finally see you. After all these years, they'll finally see what real strength looks like. Kixtel stays hidden long after Elena leaves. They creep to the massive observation window and stare out into space. Everything looks normal. Just stars and darkness and the faint glow of station lights. But Kixtel knows now. Something is out there. Something huge. Something that speaks English and makes ships disappear and has been protecting humanity this entire time. They spend all night researching. The pattern is undeniable. Every missing ship, every unexplained rescue, every mysterious malfunction, it's all connected to human space. And it's all been happening for 50 years, ever since humanity joined the galactic community. The next day arrives. The Grand Assembly Hall is absolutely packed. Everyone wants to witness humanity's downfall. The observation decks are crammed with spectators. This is historic. This is entertainment. The humans arrive exactly on time, walking calmly to their usual seats in the back. Elena is wearing her simple gray suit, looking like she's about to discuss quarterly reports instead of fighting for humanity's survival. Thexor takes the podium first, and he's brutal. He lays out every weakness, every shortcoming, every reason why humanity doesn't belong. He shows holographic displays of our pathetic fleet, our tiny military, our insignificant presence. And the council eats it up. They're nodding, agreeing, already mentally voting us out. Then it's Elena's turn to speak. She walks to the podium slowly, surrounded by giants, looking so small in comparison. But when she speaks, her voice carries through that entire massive chamber with perfect clarity. She starts by thanking Thexor for his detailed review. She confirms everything he said is accurate. We do have a small fleet. We are quiet. We don't speak often in council sessions. But then she asks a question that makes everyone pause. She pulls up a holographic map of the entire galaxy and highlights every species' territory. And she asks why it is that humanity, with our supposedly tiny military, has more border territory than any other species in the chamber. 47 neighbors. More than the mighty Vrax Imperium. More than the ancient Chromoth. More than anyone. And here's the kicker. In 50 years, with 47 neighbors, many of them aggressive, how many times has anyone invaded human space? How many border wars have we fought? How many times has anyone even tried to take one of our worlds? 0, not once. The laughter stops. People are starting to pay attention now. Because that doesn't make sense, does it? If we're so weak, if we have resources worth taking, why hasn't anyone even tried? Elena changes the display. She shows data. Ship names, dates, coordinates. 217 ships have disappeared near human space over 50 years. Pirates, raiders, mercenary fleets, even military scouts from various empires. All gone, no wreckage. No survivors, no signals, just silence. Thexor demands to know what she's saying. And Elena's response is ice cold. You've been focusing on the wrong thing, warlord. You studied our ships, our military, our soldiers. But you never asked the real question. You never asked what protects us. She changes the display again, showing the grand spiral station itself, rotating slowly. And she points out something everyone had overlooked. For 50 years, humans have always sat in the same seats. The back row, right next to the observation deck that faces the dark side of the station. Ever wonder why? She asks. Then she speaks one word into her communicator. Just one word.